I want to hang everything I will say to you in the next 45 minutes to 50 minutes on this two framework. In dying, I live. And in surrendering, I win. In dying, I live. In surrendering, I win. Let me say that again. In dying, I live. In surrendering, I win. You will see the strategy that of what that really means. So I want to talk to you this afternoon about, you see it everywhere on people's graveyard, on people's tombstone. They put the RIP. I want to talk to you about rest in peace. But I want you to rest in His peace. Because Jesus came to give us a peace that surpasses all understanding. In one of our Bible studies, a brother asked a question, say, how do you know God is with you? And the simplest answer we could give to that question is that the peace of God is what gives you the guarantee that God is with you. I said it this way. I said the peace of God is the conveyor belt. If you go grocery shopping in America, you get your goods and you put it on the counter for the cashier to ring you up. There's a belt that will transport your good from where you put it to where the cashier is. If you see the manufacturing of the automobiles or any of this automated company, they have a conveyor belt that gets one product from one place to the other. The peace of God is that conveyor belt that promotes you, that provides a transportation from you, from your problem to the provision of God. So, peace does not mean the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of God with you in your trouble. And for you to know that God is with you, is that while everybody are losing their mind and losing their head, you have this confidence you cannot explain. You have this assurance, this guarantee that everything is going to be all right. Every physical evidence contradicts what you are believing. The doctor report says you will not make it. The bank said you will not get this loan. Yet you have this peace that tells you God is going to do it. That is that peace we want to talk about this morning, this afternoon. That is that peace I want you to rest in this year. Yesterday, when we were having our midnight service, I asked the people of God that I said I was sleeping at about 5, and I was just meditating on the fact that we're about to cross into 2012, and that 12 represent the number of establishment, 12 represent the number of government, 12 represent the number of order. You go to the store and you say you want a dozen eggs. If one is missing, you believe your egg is not complete. 12 always represent orderliness. That's why God made sure Jacob had 12 sons to establish the government in Israel. Even in the book of Revelation, the Bible talks about the 24 elders. Theologians that says those are the 12 representatives of the children of Israel and the 12 apostles. Those 24 elders are busy casting their crown before God in celebration. So I was thinking that 12 represent orderliness and completeness. And I had in my spirit that go and check chapter 12 verse 12. But I didn't know where to check. So I started looking. I just said, okay, Lord, I'm just going to check the first 5 books of Moses. That is, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And then check the 4 Gospels. When I check in the book of Genesis, what it says did not make any sense. It was not relevant to what I believe God was trying to say, which is completeness. Then I checked Exodus, and there I saw what I thought God was trying to say. Exodus chapter 12, verse 12. Speak about this night. God says He will release the children of Israel from captivity. And he struck a note with me. Because when we are praying on Friday night, in our last Friday of the month prayer, one of the texts God gave for me to pray with, which is exactly what we did when you got in here this afternoon, that every problem, every created problem has a beginning and there's an ending to every problem. What we said on Friday night in our prayer is this: the children of Israel have been in bondage for 400 years. God said they will be there for 400 years. But because of Moses not being abreast with what God wants to do, he prolonged it for another 30 years. That's why the Bible asks you, wisdom is the principal thing. In all that get an understanding. When God started to use Moses wanted to use the arm of the flesh. That's a digression, but let me go there because somebody needs that. Because some of you who are here this afternoon believe help only help who help themselves. Even though you can't find that in the Bible. And what I'm trying to teach this afternoon contradicts that. That for you to prosper this year, you need to rest in the finished work of God. And when you rest in the finished work of God, it becomes effortless. So when God called Moses, God preserved him. The reason why God preserved him is to be a deliverer of his people. But when the calling came, it was for him to prepare himself for where God is going to take him, how God was going to use him. But Moses thought he could do it in the arm of the flesh. He has a rod in his hand. And with that rod, let me step back a little bit. Some of us who are here, there's something God want to do in your life 10 years from now. God is preparing you for it, and you are finding it difficult because you feel the need to have what God has promised. Yet God is holding it back. And this contradiction is creating a tension in you. And you just want to run and go grab it. And God doesn't work like that. God is just preparing you. Because you cannot schedule your season, but you can sense your season. So when you sense your season of blessing, you become agitated and you just want to go grab it. But I come warning this afternoon, that's not the will of God. God just wants you to be sensitive and be ready. So that you don't fall down the door, but you walk through the door when he opens it. So what God started to do with Moses is that 10 years before the scheduled date of deliverance, God started working in his heart. I'm going to use it to deliver the people of Israel. Moses did not understand the way of God. One day was walking on the street, saw an Israelite and an Egyptian fighting, took his stick and used the stick to kill the Egyptian, buried the Egyptian, hoping that the following day when he came out, they will honor him as a hero. But instead, they accused him of being a murderer, and he ran. And he was in the backside of the road for 40 years. He was supposed to start preparing for what God wanted to do in his life 10 years before the due date. But because he jumped ahead of God's schedule, he ended up costing the people of God an extra 30 years. Whatever God is putting in your hand today, you cannot achieve it by the arm of the flesh. If you do, you will bat Ishmael instead of Isaac. And you will cause more confusion in your life. So Moses, by trying to do it with the arm of the flesh, caused more problem for the people of God. So he has to run. And it took 40 years for God to restore and bring back everything God wanted to use him to do. But if you read that place in the Bible, the same rod with which he killed a man was the same rod in the book of Exodus chapter 4 that the Bible says when he was arguing with God that I can't do this. God said, what is that in your hand? He said it's a rod. The same rod he killed a man with. The Bible said put it down. When he put it down, he said pick it back up. When he put it down, it became a snake. When he picked it back up, the Bible called it from that point onward the rod of God. That means whatever God wants to do with you, you already have it. It's illegal for God to ask you to do something he has not equipped you to do.